Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. It's Wednesday at 7 o'clock. That means it's time for another Wednesday weekly workshop where you get to ask Drew anything. This is your first time tuning into one of those. Thank you for being here. My name is Drew. I'm the owner here at 3D Wellness. I'm also one of the clinicians that's on staff. Every Wednesday at 7 o'clock Central Time, we go live to take your questions. You can ask me anything about health, and I'll go over my clinical experiences with that topic or things that I had read or studied in school. We stay here answering questions as long as there are questions coming in. So on YouTube, you can use that chat feature. On Instagram, you can also use that chat feature. And if you don't want to post to YouTube or Instagram, but you want to ask a question, you have choices. You can call us right now, we'll answer the phone. Or ahead of time, like a couple of different clients do, you can email us questions at 3dnewberlin@gmail.com. One of the questions that was emailed in this week is calcium, so I'm going to address that. And that's how it works here. This is the 93rd one of these that we've done.
Isn't that amazing?
I gotta have some kind of party for the 100th. 7 weeks from now.
Okay.
What does that put us into? May?
Probably early May.
Yeah, second week of May or something.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a party. We're gonna figure something out. All right. I like to start by talking about this week. So this week in clinic, what's been going on? We had a client who came to us, some pretty gnarly arthritis, lots of pain. And one of the things that she was particularly upset about was that she was needing a walker for a long time just to get around and do basic stuff. It got a little bit better sometimes and she could use her cane, but then it would go back and she'd have to use the walker again. She's been working with us for about 6 weeks now. She spent an entire week with no cane, no walker. She is ecstatic. She hasn't had that in years. We did that without drugs. We did that without surgery. On her hair analysis, I'm not going to tell you her name, but I can tell you some details about her. There was her sodium level, which is NA. Then there was her potassium level. And if this dashed line that's up there would be the perfect amount of each of those minerals, her sodium level was way past it, and her potassium level was way under it. And that kind of imbalance really promotes inflammation in the body. So in her body, part of the reason she had so much arthritis symptoms was because she had so much pro-inflammation stuff going on her hair analysis. So her supplement and food program was geared towards correcting that. And that's why in 6 weeks, no cane, no walker. All right, we also saw some brain fog this week. Big deal, because that was an accountant. It's tax season. We want all of our accountants to be able to think very clearly. All right, and then calcium. So this was a question that rolled in via email this week. The client asked, why, when I go to a Walgreens, a Costco, 3D Wellness, wherever, do I see so many calcium products? Okay, now I want to talk about this a little bit. Standard Process alone has 5 dedicated calcium products. It has way more than 5 products that have calcium in it. But products that are geared towards being a calcium product, it has 5. I have them all here. So there's one that's called Cal Ammo. It's a different one. That's called Cal Sol. Then we got Calma Plus. Then we got big ones that I'm not even going to try to hold to in my hand. Calcium Lactate and Calcifood. Now, you go to a Walgreens, you go to a Costco, you go to a vitamin shop, you go to some place where they sell supplements, you're going to see way more than just 5 different calciums out there. So one of the things may be there are multiple brands selling the same type of calcium. Let me explain. You have most likely heard of calcium citrate. You go to any Walgreens right now, I'm pretty sure you could find at least 4 different brands of calcium citrate on their shelf. They probably have a house brand and then a couple of popular brands, okay? There's a lot of different forms of calcium, like calcium citrate. And each form of calcium has a slightly different action inside of the body. So when this client said, why do I see so many different calciums? The first thing I said was, different forms of calcium do different things. And she said, but why are there so many brands selling the same type of calcium? Okay, that I don't have an answer for. Everybody wants part of their market share, is my guess. But what I want people to understand here is there is a calcium here called CalMa Plus. And CalMa Plus is designed to support the functioning of your parathyroid gland in your neck. The calcium that's in here is specific to what the parathyroid needs, compared to if you take calcifood. It's still a calcium product, but the calcium that's inside a calcifood is chemically different than what is in CalMa Plus and is geared more towards bone health and muscle health. So we have different sources of calcium. It's pretty much everybody in America, at least right now, needs calcium on some level, and we can isolate or make it unique what form of calcium a person gets. We use the hair analysis a lot to determine what type of calcium a person needs, and it makes it really specific. It makes it very individualized to know you're getting just the right source of calcium, because there are so many different types of calcium. Now I got to email that client to make sure I answer their question, Lori. All right, questions rolling in on the chats.
Nothing rolling in on either one here. Oh, actually, there is one that came in. VS. Okay.
Cool.
And they know me because I said hello, Lori. Okay, this is Vicky S. Oh, Vicky S.
We know a Vicky
Yes.
S.
Okay, what is NAD? Do we want to? Hold on. Don't like the way it fades.
Yeah, it keeps going on.
Do we want to, and how to increase it in the body? Also, what is your purification program?
These are good questions. I'm going to start with the NAD. Okay. All right, that feels like a purple thing to me. All right, so NAD. It's reportedly used for energy and as an antioxidant. NAD naturally occurs in a lot of veggies. Some examples would be Swiss chard, beets, carrots, and even buckwheat. I'm going to circle back to that in just a minute. NAD is also incredibly popular right now. When I open up my Instagram feed, I see at least 4 or 5 different advertisements for NAD, or their signature, their proprietary blend with NAD. So it is very popular right now. I bring that up because I've seen this with a lot of different supplements over the years, that when they get popular, everybody wants a piece of the pie to make some money, make some bank, and not every company is making a quality version of that product. It happened with turmeric. When turmeric really started to boom, there were a bunch of garbage turmeric products on the market. I know it happens with fish oils to this day, because fish oils are one of the few things that a lot of different medical doctors will say are a good idea to take supplement-wise. So any NAD product, I'm just a little bit hesitant of nowadays because it is so popular. There are some companies that I know have been making NAD products for a long time, like Biotics. like Apex Energetics. Put that one down. They've been doing it for more than a decade. They've been making an NAD product for more than a decade. So I'm inclined to trust them more than a lot of other brands, because a lot of other brands are just trying to jump on the bandwagon. Now, clinically, I don't use a lot of NAD products because clinically, I use a lot of supplements that are made out of whole foods that contain the foods that naturally have NAD in them. For example, when you take the standard process supplement Easy Mag, you're getting Swiss chard, you're also getting buckwheat. When you take anything like Beta Food or Livoplex, you're getting beets. When you take Drenamin or the multivitamin Catalin, you are getting carrots. So I don't use a lot of NAD isolated supplements because I use so many whole food supplements that have the foods that naturally contain NAD. That was part one. The second part was my purification program. Boy, I did a whole workshop on that. Would you please put a note, since we know Vicky S. I'll send her the 2 videos. And this brings up a good point. It's a convenient point. Big thanks to Vicky. When you're a client here at 3D Wellness, you get access to certain workshops and different classes that I put on that are client exclusives. And the purification program, was that December I did that one?
January.
In January, we did a 2-part workshop on the purification program, how to do it, why you would want to do it, all sorts of details. So Vicky, we're going to send you a copy of that, of those videos. But there's perks to being a client here that go way beyond what the public gets from us. But I'll talk about the purification program now. Definitely green because it's standard process. All right.
Crappy green.
Might be time for a new green. I'm gonna hang it upside down and see if that fixes it.
Yeah.
This program is a 21-day program. Bring that up because I want you to think about it in terms of this. You're gonna have to eat differently than you usually eat. You're gonna have to take more pills than you're gonna like to take. But it's 3 weeks. Think about how many times in your life you've had 3 weeks. Okay? If you're 30 years old, let's do the math real quick. That would be 1,500 or so, 1,600 weeks of your life. 3 divided by 16 is an incredibly small percentage, okay? So we're looking for 3 weeks of your life. You can do it for 3 weeks. The idea, the eating style and the supplements are there to address liver health, kidney health, and bowel health specifically. Oh, man. Supplements are pretty simple in terms of what they're doing. There's one that's called SP Cleanse. And that one is primarily what's helping with liver and kidney. You take that for part of the 21 days. There's a different product called SP Green Food that is also major liver support. You take SP Cleanse for the first part of the program, and then you switch to SP Green Food for the latter part of the program. The entire time, you take a fiber, and they have a few choices. You can do what's called whole food fiber or gastro fiber. And that's the part that's really amazing for your bowels. cleanse, green food, the fibers, then SP Complete.
Mm-hmm.
Last but not least, want to make sure that you're getting plenty of protein. SP Complete. This one is the whole time. This one is protein. And then I like to call it farm stuff. Because a lot of the stuff that Standard Process grows on their farm, and they just secured 88 more acres.
Ooh.
So I don't know if that tipped them past the 1,000-acre point or not, but it's close if it didn't get them past 1,000 acres, which is incredible because the way they care for that soil, that part of the earth, amazing. A lot of different protein products out there on the market, got plenty of protein with it, but none of the helpers that our bodies need to actually put protein to work. SP Complete, having a bunch of farm stuff in it, not only has the protein, but it has the nutrients that we need to actually put protein to work. So the Purification program is 3 weeks long. You're going to nourish up and support your liver, your kidneys, your bowel. There's a cleanse product. There's the green food product. You take a fiber to make sure you're regular. There's a protein supplement to make sure you're getting plenty of protein during this. The eating style, lots of produce, lots and lots of produce, and relatively low fat, because that's going to take some of the strain off of the liver. The idea is for these 3 weeks, you can reset a lot of things, a lot of trends in the body just by nourishing it with these supplements. The Purification program is something that I personally have done 6 times. In January, it was just my 6th time. It's my second favorite cleanse out of all of them. My first favorite being the first time I did it because that changed my life. If you haven't already heard the story about the first time I did the Purification program, in those 3 weeks, I lost 11 pounds and my belt went in 3 notches. Now, the reason that's such a big deal is because 11 pounds should not cause 3 notches on a belt, okay? But my guts were so inflamed and I just got used to it. I didn't think about it. I grew up, I got a lot of antibiotics when I was a kid. I know that disrupted my gut performance. So the first time I did this Purification program, we started to take care of the gut and start to clean some stuff out of there. My gut went, thank you, and pulled right in quite beautifully. This last January, doing the Purification program, my mental clarity, my concentration got razor sharp, got really tuned in. I've had a much easier time being productive here at 3D and also at home. It has been wonderful, totally wonderful. Vicky, let me know if that answered your questions. And did Instagram hit us up with any questions?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
But Laura LeClaire will have a question
of course.
or 2.
2 boots is always good for a question.
I'll fill in the time here.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, it's a question that ties in maybe the SP Complete.
Ooh, okay.
I was curious, you know how popular the Ensure and the Boost nutritional shakes can be for folks that typically are caloric or protein deficient, especially our elderly people when they get up there. Anyway, I'm curious, would that SP Complete be a good alternative in this case?
If you look, did Vicky get back to us on YouTube?
I know she said, thank you. Oh, yes, awesome. And thank you for the first half of the NAD stuff. And then said, yes, it sounds like something I might try. Thank you.
Totally. When you're ready to, let us know.
Yep.
That's another thing. Wow, this is really convenient. Vicky is lighting it up with me getting to talk about the perks of being a client at 3D Wellness. One of the other perks is that there's a video series about the Purification program that is exclusively available to the clients. So Vicky, we'll start to get you some of those videos when you're ready to get that rolling.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Boost and Ensure. Man, I think it's Ensure. I'm not totally positive, but 3 out of 4 of the first ingredients are corn. It's like corn syrup solids,
Cornstarch.
and I think corn oil. Now, I don't know about you, but one of my favorite parts of corn is just how naturally oily it is. Is that not weird to anybody else that they're getting oil out of a corn? What do you have to do to corn to get oil?
Wow.
Maybe I don't actually want to know. It just seems really weird to me. It seems really weird.
Yeah.
But the idea here is if 3 out of 4 of the first ingredients are corn, that's a really cheap product. It's going to be very processed as well. Corn syrup solids, corn oil, cornstarch, all of these things are very heavily processed and not nutritionally sound. It's my first big concern. My second big concern is that it is all synthetic nutrients. Because corn does not naturally yield a high dose of calcium or vitamin B12 or magnesium or vitamin C or vitamin D, they are adding in these nutrients separately, but they're all synthetic. They're all isolated. We're getting away from the whole food philosophy. When you look at this product, it's, wow, defatted wheat germ, oat flour, carrot, date, rice bran, bone. Amazing. It's foods. It's things that we eat. Compared to these kind of products, all the nutrients that are added to it are going to be synthetic. It's not as powerful then. Again, it keeps cost way down, and the companies get to profit from that. And I get that businesses need to be profitable, but I don't like it at the expense of the consumer. That makes sense. Okay. So what would be way better is the SP Complete. Could you grab a tub? Any flavor?
Of course.
Thank you. Let's see if I fixed the green. Oh, much better.
I'm grabbing my personal favorite.
I'm going to guess that's chocolate?
Yes.
Cool.
It's so yummy in my coffee. It's like drinking hot cocoa every morning.
This one is 4 scoops of this with I got big hands, big handful of fresh strawberries in a blender for my kiddos. They dig it. SP Complete, here's what it looks like. I want a Spanish black radish in this size.
Oh.
That might be too much, and I love Spanish black. But anyways, here's some of the ingredients that are here. The first one is whey protein. So I mentioned the whole protein thing, the protein need. We don't want protein totally alone, though. So some of the other ingredients that are in here are carrot, grapeseed extract, organic alfalfa grown on the farm, organic kale that's grown on the farm, organic Brussels sprouts that are grown on the farm, organic buckwheat grown on the farm, some calcium, some magnesium, obviously some cocoa powder because it's the chocolate flavor. But here's the thing. What if your protein shake could give you a serving of those veggies, the carrots, the alfalfa, the Brussels sprouts that I just listed? There's so few protein shakes in the world that do that. None of them have what's grown at the standard process farm like this stuff does. So for anybody who's considering Boost or Ensure, I would strongly encourage them to look at SP Complete instead. There's an unflavored version, there's a vanilla version, there's a chocolate version, and there's even a vegetarian version where they use rice protein powder. Lots of choices there. Good question, Lori.
Thank you.
Good. Other questions that are rolling in?
Nothing on Instagram. Nothing more on YouTube.
Okay, I'm going to dork out for a second. The video series that we're working on right now that is released, I think we have 24 videos posted already, and they will be releasing over the next couple of months, is Have You Heard the Word About MediHerb? So the standard process herbal affiliate, the herb side of standard process is called MediHerb. And just like I have a video about every single standard process supplement, we're releasing a video on every single MediHerb supplement. So you can check it out on YouTube. It's really easy to find us. You just search for DDD Wellness. Our logo will pop up, and then you can start watching those videos. There's a number of different clinics in town that I know refer their patients and their clients to our videos for a quick description of why they're on Boswellia complex or why they take Mintran. The other really fun thing we're doing, today's the 19th.
It is.
So we got 12 days left in the month, which means you have 12 days to get in your guesses about our Spanish black radish. In case you aren't remembering, or if you didn't see last week. Spanish black radish is my favorite supplement on earth. The biggest bottle it comes in, though, is just 90 tablets. Okay? And people usually take 2 or 3 of these a day when they're on this product. So 90 just isn't enough. And we know Standard Process has larger bottles, right? Standard Process has bottles that are this big. So come on. Fill them up with some Spanish black radish, Standard Process. The people are asking for it. So the way I'm getting Standard Process's attention, all these live streams I'm doing during the month of March, I'm tagging Standard Process in them and saying, make a bigger Spanish black radish, please. And I have filled up this tub. Usually there's a powder in this tub called SP Power Mix. I filled up this tub with Spanish black radish tablets. And every time somebody comes in for a consult during March, or if they come in to buy something, you get to guess how many Spanish black radish did I fit inside of this tub.
And only Drew knows
Yes.
the answer.
So you can try to bribe Lori. If she takes your money, she just hosts you because she doesn't know.
Don't get me in trouble, Drew.
Spanish black radish tablets are that big. How many fit inside of this tub? And it is absolutely packed inside of there.
It really is.
It's really packed.
Yeah.
Anybody who guesses the right number?
Or comes the closest.
Yeah. Gets a free bottle of Spanish black radish. So I want to explain that because I had a client ask me about that. It'll take just a few seconds. So if the guess is 17 and the actual is 15, the closest guess is 2 off. We're going to give a bottle of Spanish black radish to everybody who was 2 away from the actual amount. So if somebody actually guesses the exact amount, they're probably going to hose a couple of people, because otherwise it would be whoever is closest, everybody who is equally close. You can be high or low.
Yeah.
Because we want a larger Spanish black radish. I'd be okay with a 180 count. Okay, we'll start there. I'm not being greedy. I don't need the 270 or the 360 right away. We could just start with 180. Good. Any questions roll in?
No.
No? Okay.
Oh, wait. Schmitty has one here.
The plot just thickened. What's up, Schmitty?
It says, did you get my email about aging males and testosterone supplementation?
Ooh.
Is it needed?
I didn't. Lori, can you print it real quick?
Sure.
We're totally going to fix this. Oh, man. Hey, Schmitty, do me a favor. Can I show your photograph on here? Would you be comfortable with that? I would like to. But only if you're good with it. Yeah. Yeah, we'll print off that email. Good. I'm going to start jotting some notes, though, in the meanwhile. All right, so the aging...
Okay, yeah, it just basically says, is it a good idea, bad idea?
Gotcha.
Natural alternatives.
Oh, absolutely.
About that topic.
All right.
Testosterone supplements for aging males.
Cool. May I?
Oh, yes.
Thank you. It says, also, question for tonight's Wednesday Live. Testosterone supplements for aging males. Good idea, bad idea, natural alternatives. Totally. So, There are natural things that boost testosterone. Okay? So it's really popular nowadays to get on hormone replacement therapy or testosterone replacement therapy. You'll hear it referred to as HRT or TRT, and they will tell you it is bioidentical testosterone. That is a lie, because the only thing that is bioidentical to you is something your body makes. Okay? Now, it's not incredibly far off, but it is still not bioidentical. It is not something your body made. Okay? So we may want to use some natural things that boost testosterone. We got to know we need a couple of things in place first if we're going to make testosterone. Okay, if we're going to benefit from the supplements that I'll list, we need these things in place first. We need to make sure that we have plenty of zinc on a regular basis, because our prostate and our testicles will not do the testosterone thing in a deficiency of zinc. We got to have magnesium for that same reason. If our body is going to produce testosterone, it is going to require the presence of magnesium. So we want to make sure we take that. And then, this sounds like a joke, we need butter. Just because, I know it sounds like a joke. There's a certain type of acid in butter called arachidonic acid. And arachidonic acid naturally occurs in butter and is really important for testosterone. Doesn't mean you have to eat a whole stick of butter a day. 1 or 2 tablespoons a day will do you just fine. I like to put mine in my coffee when I have coffee. If I don't have it on coffee, I turn my vegetables into a butter delivery vehicle, or BDV for short, to make sure that I'm getting that butter in. But it is for the arachidonic acid, AA for short. The list of nutrients I could put up here about testosterone could be way longer than those. But the most basic, those 3. We can get fancy with stuff. We don't have to get fancy with stuff. Things that boost. Easily the most the most popular natural thing is an herb called tribulus. This will promote testosterone production. It's really effective at doing that. It's not going to turn it up a huge amount, but it will help your body start to produce more testosterone. If you want to make sure that when your body is producing more testosterone, that testosterone gets put to good use, you would want to pair this herb, tribulus, with another herb, which is called nettles. It helps your body keep the testosterone as testosterone. Otherwise, sometimes what bodies do, especially when they age, is when testosterone is made, it's not totally sure what to do with it, and it will convert it into a different hormone. It's part of the reason I recommend the zinc, magnesium, and the arachidonic acid ahead of time, because that's also going to help your body keep testosterone as testosterone. So tribulus with nettles is a really good combination. There's another herb that's called Tongkat Ali. Really good herb. It promotes the production and sensitivity to testosterone. Here's why that's so nice. You can crank up your testosterone level and hope your body absorbs it, right? Hope your body puts it to use. Or you can focus on making sure that your body can use testosterone, that it's efficient in using it, that it isn't wasteful. And then, if your body even makes just a little bit of testosterone and uses 100% of it, that is far more effective. Tongkat Ali has that built into it. And typically with Tongkat Ali, it's getting used before we're worried about it converting to something. So the nettles is not recommended necessarily. It's fine to take with it. Lori, in the inventory room on the little It's under the windows, that little stand.
Mhm.
There's a bottle of Tongkat Ali. Would you bring it, please?
Sure.
With the Tongkat Ali, you don't necessarily need the nettles. It would be totally fine to take that. Nettles does a lot of wonderful things for the prostate, and that will support testosterone production.
You think so?
Typically, I like to cycle these things with 8 to 12 weeks on, and then 4 weeks off.
I don't see anything in there that's
I'm sorry, it's just the bottle. It's on the left side of, you know what I'm talking about with the supplement test kit that's on the table?
Yes.
That we converted with the little shelves on it. It's on the left side of that. It's next to the 2 bottles that are laying down.
Got it.
Cool. Ryan, let me know if that answered your question. There's a lot of different testosterone boosting products on the market. These 2 from Standard Process are my go-tos. Here is what the bottle of Tongkat Ali looks like. They are just tiny little tabs. So tiny. It's like an Advil. Talking about it, I'm going to take some. Shout out to Cody at Standard Process. If for some reason you ever wanted to taste something that's really disgusting, just chew Tongkat Ali.
Just like you're going to demonstrate?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. Let's see here. Can I read you a couple other questions from Ryan?
Oh, sure. Yeah. As long as that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It says here, would this be what you would recommend for someone who is lifting weights or doing resistance training 3 to 5 days a week?
Totally.
Or say someone is looking to compete in a strongman competition?
Definitely. If that's the case, I'd get a little bit fancier, and I appreciate this question. The nutrition store that I got my start at was next door to a powerlifting gym. So we had guys coming in, and I got to dork out with them about this stuff. So I'm going to dork out for just a second. So thank you. Where am I going to write this that it's going to be seen? I'm going to do it right here. So if, let's say Tongkat is red, and each one of these stripes that I'm writing is a week that you are on Tongkat. So that's 8 stripes, so you'd be on Tongkat for 8 weeks. Okay? And Tribulus is in purple. What I would have you do is take the Tribulus overlapped for 4 of the weeks. You see that? And then rest. Or the off time. Okay? So you would do Tongkat for 8 weeks, but starting on week 5, you would add in the Tribulus. Week 5 of the Tribulus, you would knock off the Tongkat and just do Tribulus, then take a 4-week break, and then go back to the start. So still 12 weeks on, 4 weeks off. But man, I love the idea of that. That gets the testosterone levels absolutely going. I'm certainly going to have a person doing that, taking nettles, to make sure that testosterone stays as testosterone, because that kind of program will definitely get your testosterone up, will get you sensitive to testosterone so you don't get toxic levels of it or unhealthy levels of it, but your body will respond to it. Yeah. Thank you for letting me dork out.
I've got a kind of a curious question. What would a male be experiencing if they had a testosterone issue? Or
like if it was low?
Yeah.
Low testosterone, we're going to see a lot of adrenal type symptoms. So energy and motivation are really common. We're going to see muscle weakness. We're going to see low libido. And then even if the guy does get an erection, it's usually not as full, or he has more difficulty sustaining it.
Got it.
That can also be some heart stuff, so it gets a little tricky. Sustaining an erection can be related to circulatory system health, but it can also be a testosterone issue. And most guys who have that problem, they're at the age where heart health stuff or prostate health stuff is more common. So if you're having that, check both. Just because your heart's good, check your prostate also. Get all of it checked. You're a lot of pieces, a lot of parts here.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Testosterone that is too high in a guy is going to most likely lead to acne, especially on their bodies, like their chest and back.
Okay.
It can lead to liver stress. It can lead to prostate enlargement. So not as obvious as acne. That's just another reason that an annual physical, get somebody who is an expert at doing physicals to examine your body once a year. It's a really good thing, just to make sure, again, so many parts that all the parts are taken care of.
Yeah.
Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Cool. And Schmitty, did that answer your question? And did he say I could show his photo?
Yes, he did.
Yes. Oh man, this was a gift from Schmitty. And I love this. It's called Just Beyond the Flowers. It's, oh boy. It's the first print of it that he ever did. I love it. I'm having a custom frame made for this right now, and it's going to get hung up somewhere around here. Oh, maybe on that wall. Yeah, maybe. Okay, cool. Good. Did other questions roll in?
No.
Right, you wonderful humans. That's the deal. We stay here till there's no more questions. Okay. Greatly appreciate everybody who chats in, who emails in questions. People who watch this after the fact, thank you also. If you're on YouTube, click and subscribe, helps us tremendously, and it doesn't cost you anything. Click and like on the video, also a tremendous help. Trying to get shuffled up in that system where more and more people hear about us. On Instagram, liking the post, following us makes a huge difference for us. We get much more recommendations, and we greatly appreciate it. Everybody stay well until we see you next week for episode 94, where you get to ask Drew anything. Stay well.